USA roster. How
Say
you
that
feel
again.
about Team USA roster?
I'm about to pull it up.
Oh, that Olympic basketball has been a little, um, not even a little nothing. It's been improving for all the other countries since the Dream Team, right? So the Team
That was my.
USA roster is cool, but there's a lot of foreign players all over the place. I was just watching
That's
highlights
my.
of Jordan Clarkson balling out for the Philippines, but
What?
yeah, the
Oh yeah,
roster,
he is Filipino, but was he
yeah,
born there?
he what?
Was he born in the Philippines?
Oh, that's
I
news
don't
to me.
know. I don't think you have to be born in the Philippines. I believe his mother is Filipino.
Ah,
That's what it go by.
Well, I mean, he has relation, but you can become a citizen if I'm not mistaken, and then play for the team. But I don't think you have
and
to be
then,
born in it to play for them.
but and then think about your role on that Philippines team is going to be a lot bigger than
Right?
it
It's just
probably
him.
would if you were to play in USA. Like he can be,
Yeah,
they put the ball in his hands in the Philippines, be an NBA star.
I'm
Facts.
You
looking
know,
at the roster,
6 man,
man. That roster is weak. No disrespect.
bro.
That's a
That shit, that shit, yo, that shit watery. I said these are all pieces. These are great
Oh shit!
pieces. There's
wow.
And a
Buddy.
lot of a
Shout
lot
out
of
to
youngsters
Bi.
though. It seemed like none of the vets wanted to sign
Yeah,
up. That's what it
and that
seemed
might
like.
be it too.
Bro,
It might be back to a slow build to try
I
to
look,
mean,
two
because
build
they
it
years
they
up.
did.
ago, think about this. 2 years ago, one, two, three, four, five, six of these cats was coming off the bench in 2020, 2021. These are pieces. These are rotation pieces. And my thing was, I'm not, no disrespect. They all NBA players. Some are budding, all stars or whatever. But the state of basketball globally, you got to bring your biggest and brightest, man. Because these other countries been caught up. Canada been caught up. Spain been on it. Like Australia, like there's other countries that got stars on it.
But
And
at the end of the day, though, I think what it's coming down to is that we in an era where star players are resting and it's becoming normal, and they introducing a whole in-season tournament in the beginning of this next season. If I'm like one of the star players, we already in the habit of resting. Why I'm gonna sign up for this? Like,
that's
like
true.
I'm just. It seems like
Especially when a lot of
it's
those,
almost like this should be what we expect going forward. Like that's kind of what I'm
yeah.
feeling. Right.
And you got to
So
think a couple of
who are
those
the
stars
star?
only got one or two medals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of them. I mean, the names I'm thinking of, honestly, the names I'm thinking of are very likely in the twilight. Like they're on their way out the
Yeah.
door. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
some of the younger stars, and this just might be my lack of interest in the NBA lately. But I don't know a ton of
Yeah.
the younger stars, except for the big names. But when I think about big names, I'm just thinking about a bunch of guards, and you can't send a bunch of guards over to play. So I don't even know where you would go for top. I mean, I know where you go for top talent, but NBA isn't that superstar. There's only like three or four of them. And if you think about the last team with Kobe, LeBron, D Wade, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, like them cats is not in the league anymore. And when I think about star caliber talent like that currently, the next wave, I can think of some names, but not a lot that's on that
Of you
caliber.
Americans. That's the
Yeah,
thing. A
that's what I'm
lot of
saying.
them ain't even Americans.
Facts.
Right. That's what I mean. Like as far as USA talent, because they didn't even that last wave I just mentioned, they didn't even play until it was all bad, right? Like Kobe had to say, okay, let me go out here with y'all and let's get a medal. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who would do that. Like LeBron would be that guy, but who's the team he's going with? It just doesn't even make sense then when I think about it. It's like I don't see Curry lacing him up to go play. Um, I don't and then after Curry, then it's just like, bro, the next names I'm thinking about. Top players in the league.
Curry,
Giannis, Embiid, Doncic.
uh,
Like these cats aren't
Bradley
from here, man.
Beal.
Right.
Bradley Beal, Steph
Right.
Curry. But then you're right. It's like a bunch of guards. It's
You're gonna
like,
get so you basically get everybody's big three in the sense, right? So you go get the big three from Phoenix. Not even big three, but they're top players. You get Phoenix, you get AD, LeBron. Then you go to Golden State and you get them. And then maybe you get John Morant. But as far as high caliber talent, bro, for US, oh man, I can't think of any, and I don't know a lot of the young talent coming up. But Victor's from France, right?
Is this roster posed to win a medal? You think they're good enough to beat out other countries?
I don't know who else is playing, if I'm being honest with you. And if I had to think about it, usually France, Spain, these cats play with each other year round and have chemistry. So, like, just knowing from history, I would have to say no. It'd be a tall order to bring a gold with that roster.
Let me
Without
ask y'all
knowing
this.
any other player on any other country's team, just knowing what other countries do when it comes to international basketball, how seriously they take it and how long they play together and prepare. I don't see this team doing it. I saw Anthony Edwards balling out. I saw Ant balling out.
There's no shooting on this roster, bro.
I just watched the highlight video of Luka Doncic doing whatever the hell he wanted to do on the court. Do we think Luka and his team can beat this team that we just?
It's a top-heavy team where you just got Luka, and then I don't know who else is from Lithuania. Where's he from? What country is he from?
That's how ignorant we are. I don't even know where that man's
from. One of those
I think it's like
Slovakia
or something like that. I ain't sure.
Hey, he from Dallas, bro.
I was gonna say from Dallas.
How much Americans care about like other countries' geography and politics? Like I don't even know what country he's from.
We be ignorant as hell, bro. That's rough. We gotta do better.
That's crazy. All I know is they look like little kids out there when he was out there. He was bullying them. He was bullying everybody.
But, there's no pure shooting whatsoever on this roster. Maybe the best shooter is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen can ball.
After that is Brandon Ingram.
Whoa.
Right.
And I like B.I., but I don't think of him as a shooter. Catch a shoot type dude.
No. There's no shooters here. These are scorers. It's a bunch of scorers. Okay, and a couple playmakers, but I would have liked to see. But then you look at it like Steph and Clay, they ain't absolutely young dogs themselves. They competing for chips.
I'm saying. Yeah, they old.
I would like to see Brooke and John Morant and cats like that.
So keep it a buck. I don't see Kawhi going. I don't see him ever being healthy this time of year to go. Like no disrespect. I just don't see him being like prepared to go. I don't see Paul George ever going to help with something like that. I just don't think it means as much to them. And that's perfectly okay because I'm not really tuning into it either. If I'm just being 100, so I don't see it doesn't wake up America until America loses. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We second, we third.
Right. We're supposed to be the best.
We gotta get it right.
Yeah. The world is catching up.
Yeah.
And the big talent, the big money players are not interested. Especially if you ain't got a chip yet. That makes a big deal. Like if you ain't won no championship and you got like 2 seasons left, you're not gonna burn one of them playing international play and go into the preseason spent from travel. And that international ball is rough. Like they elbowing.
Don't let it be a contract year. Yeah, don't let it be a contract year.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? International play is that's jail ball to the NBA standards. That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we got some talent, but these other countries play better. They're better teams, but we'll see. That's one thing. You know,
Facts.
put that
All
out
right, man.
there.
Let me play a little bit of this clip for y'all, man, and get people's
Mm.
thoughts on what's happening.
You're telling me from that point on, you wrote the remainder of that album?
Yeah.
Okay.
90%. I'm gonna say what I didn't write. I didn't write Don't Stop Ever Loving Me. Right? That their whole record. I didn't write If You Wanna Go and Take a Ride with Me until you're pulling in the fold with the goldies.
Yeah.
Now, from that point on, we can walk down every one. Like 3 of the songs I wrote the whole thing. The Lil Wayne record, every word. The one that's rap some, throw them rappers or something. I falls through when a Hummer, Murphy the Don, Lazy the Kuban, with the vest under the Sean John. You don't want none. I'm partner, I got a rep for leaving here. Swole up. I wrote that whole thing. The hook is let's make a meal young, keep it real for triple.
All right.
Yeah, that was go. Hey, that was go.
Mhm.
That album go, bro. I'm about to listen to that album, right? I don't care who wrote it. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I don't care. That's my whole like junior, senior year in high school. I'm about to go bump that today.
bruh. My whole middle school. That's what that was.
That album was
Man,
crazy.
that was freshman year for me.
St. Louis.
I got a question. I know we
Like-
can't. I know nobody can answer it, but he said he wrote that whole Wayne. He said every word. He talking about Wayne's lyrics too, because that's.
Nah. He's
I
talking
think he
about
wrote-
Nelly's. Nah, he's just talking about
okay.
Nelly's part of it.
I'm not
It made
surprised.
sense.
That don't surprise me though. Like, wasn't Ali like? Wasn't he Big Bro? Wasn't he the first one? Kind of on.
Ali
Yeah,
said
he was
Nelly was
like-
big bro. Well, that's what he said in
Oh.
part of that interview that I played.
Oh, I thought
So-
Ali was the one that was like the first
He
one
was.
to be popping.
He was. I remember when they got into their little tiff last year, when they was going on radio stations talking about each other. And basically the story of St. Lunatics was like Ali had already had a deal. Ali was already making some moves and, you know, Nelly was around the way starting to make some noise. And then it was like, all right, well, shit, let's make a little group. They made the group. Of course, Nelly had all the charisma. He had all the, you know, the groove. He ended up blowing first, brought them guys with him. But that shit don't surprise me because I remember when Country Grammar dropped, I was like, I never looked at Nelly as like no lyricist or this great like MC like that. But you have when I look at Country Grammar and then like Nellyville and all the other albums, I'm like, he actually had a tight flow and some dope lyrics on that first project that he didn't have
it
that
was slick.
same sound. He didn't have that same sound on the you know the records that followed. So when Ali came out and said that, yeah, that made a lot of sense because Nelly Wayne ain't rap like that since on some of them.
I mean,
You
can we just
know.
check the credits? Like, is he saying that he didn't get credit for it? Is that the problem?
He said he didn't get
Yeah, he
credit.
didn't get credit for it. They pulled up the credits in the middle of that interview. The person I was interviewing pulled up the credits and said his name is not on there. It's just Nelly and somebody
Yeah.
else.
That sounded like Sean
Mhm.
Perez. Was that a Vlad TV interview?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounded like Sean Perez. The
was.
Nelly and somebody else. Okay, so that's why. But bro,
Mhm.
man, that sucks because I know there's a lot of residual funds that he probably missed out on behind that. So that's trash.
Diamond.
Yeah, that's
Diamond.
crazy.
That is ass. And I'm not like this shit is like it. This is surprising to me. This was in like I didn't expect to hear this shit. It was surprising to me. Like Country Grammar was one of my favorite albums growing up, and like this is some fraudulent shit. Like
So-
this nigga's a fraud.
But it's not. But
Like-
here's the thing that gets me though. It's always discussed, talked about, and if I go into a rant, y'all stop me. But it's always looked at real heavy when it's hip hop and who wrote what, who did bad business. Bad music business happens all the time, bruh. Like
True,
every
fact.
day, somebody
Agreed.
is screwed out of money in music, in business in general. But for some
Mhm.
reason, when it's hip hop, it's always, well, you should have did X, Y, and Z. When I think about it, that man should be paid accordingly for whatever he did. Everybody should be not just what they are owed, because you never get your worth, right? I want you to get all you can get and all you deserve. I'm
Mhm.
thinking about, I just said this was my high school days. Nelly, this is his first album. There's no way he had the business savvy or knew what the hell was going on when he did that, when they wrote credits, when they signed paperwork. So I can't be mad at Ali for wanting his bread. I can't be mad. I don't even know what Nelly's stance on it is. All I heard was that clip. I can't be mad at a young kid with his first album. Because if I understand correctly, they had a lot of albums after that. And this is the first time I'm hearing about any of this. And you said they were beefing before. My hope is that the beef and whatever it is just so that people like us and everyone else talk about them, they stay relevant, and they figure this shit out. Because I don't want to see anybody beefing. But I'm looking at men with gray in their beard talking about what you owe me. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, let's look back and be like, this was a good time. Let's figure it out or not. But man, it ain't gotta be. Let's need to swap. You know?
I mean, but hold on though, because Rome didn't hear the whole clip though. Like he didn't hear the whole interview. No. So, but dog, this goes beyond just taking credit for what he wrote on Country Grammar. He told stories about back in the day where Nelly and City Spud was in battles, battling other people using his material, using his lyrics. Using Ali's lyrics. Like stuff would come back to him, or like they would be in the studio and somebody would be like, hey yo, Nelly, spit that one when you was talking about this and that. And Nelly would have to be like, damn, I mean, yo, that was Ali shit. Yo, that was like he been stealing this man's raps for a long time, fam.
But
like,
before
he even put it on the album.
Like, no, I am not. That's terrible. I'm not justifying that. But Ali still got down, and I still remember him in every video after. Every Air Force One, every tit drill. I remember him everything after.
Here's the deal, right? So we a group. We all together. We all collaborate together. Who's to say some of those songs on Country Grammar didn't used to be group records? Ali already had a career. He already was signed when Nelly and them was in high school. So who's to say these weren't just group tracks already recorded, already had producers, beats already paid for, but when they was trying to shop St. Lunatics as a group, all these A&Rs like, no, we want Nelly. We want Nelly. They just want Nelly. Nelly got the star power. He got the charisma. So they had to, Nelly had to be like, look, man, they only trying to offer me a deal. Let me just go in here, pave the way. We take those songs that we've been performing, songs that we done wrote and did. I'll just record them with me. I'll give you a feature here. Like, I think that was the case. I don't think Nelly sat up there and was like, Ali, write me a verse. Ali, I think these songs been in the can. And they've been performing them as a group, but now it's like, well, shit, I'll just perform them myself because they like my voice, they like my flow, they like my look, and I got the solo deal. I just think it's like I said, Ali ain't doing no shows. Ali was supposed to drop maybe he did drop a solo album, but it didn't go anywhere. I remember Nelly doing an interview saying that, like, y'all didn't want to work. Y'all just didn't want to work. Y'all waiting for me to go on tour to bring y'all on tour for y'all to make some money, but y'all really wasn't working when the time. Same thing that 50 was saying about G Unit. It was like, y'all waiting for me to set the plate for y'all to eat when, you can boogie. You can go out there and go get you a meal ticket, do something on your own. Y'all waiting for me to go on tour and take y'all with me. And I don't know, man. I don't think it was like one of those situations where, Ali, write this for me. I think these songs were done, and Nelly just performed them and had to put Country Grammar out. That's how I look at it. And I think it's a little slimy for him to come out in this interview 20 years later and talk about what he wrote when you knew what it was back then. You know what it was.
I hope there's got to be a motive behind it, right? Like, I'm trying to get paid or I'm doing it a certain way, but it just don't like to hear it, bro. I don't like to hear it. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Y'all was riding together all them years and now we discussing this. And if it's a money thing, I get it, bro. Like, it's a different time. Shit costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear niggas stealing niggas raps, man. That's me. Like, I don't like to hear that shit. But that's just
Bro.
me, man. I know maybe I grew up different. I know for a fact if you heard nigga that I was going around battling niggas using your raps, you would not be okay with it, nigga. So don't sit here and act like you would, because you would not be okay with that shit, bro.
Hey, I heard of somebody else who was a friend of mine. I rapped with in high school. He went out to another state and he was sharing videos and recordings of verses that I did. And I see this man in another battle use lines of mine. And no, I wasn't okay with it. You know, it's just one of those things. Like your lyrics in hip hop, especially, are they're just personal.
Exactly. It's personal. Like this shit ain't
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
yeah,
Like,
it's personal. Especially if you don't give no shout outs and no credit. You in hip hop, when people open their mouth to rap, the audience assume that these are your thoughts and these are your experiences that you put forth. If there's somebody else's, like, this ain't R&B, this ain't rock and roll. Like these songs, like, but I guess there's a double standard in hip hop where everything has to be original. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I
it
just
is. And I get that, it happens a lot in hip hop, but I mean, I'm consistent in the fact that I don't like when I hear about the shit, especially when it
no, I
comes to
don't.
projects that I love. Like, I
Honestly,
don't
it
like
really
it.
depends on who it is. Like if it's a Dr. Dre, a Diddy, a Timbaland, someone known as a producer, someone not known for actually like when I heard that Ice Cube was basically writing everybody shit in NWA except for Ren, it made sense. Like I can see
But
him writing for Dre, I can see him writing for Easy.
these people correct me if I'm wrong. These people didn't did it wasn't it known though that this stuff was happening? These people that like wasn't it well known? Like I've known all my life that Dre didn't write his own shit. That
Yeah.
you feel me? That like Diddy didn't write his own shit. I've known it's not been no secret. Like like I think the world knows Cardi B don't write her own shit. It's not a
Right.
secret. If things would come if something would come out that Nicki Minaj had all these ghostwriters, I think people would have a problem with it, because I think it's assumed that she writes her own shit. I think it really just depends.
I don't think anybody would have a problem with that.
You don't think so?
I think
Is it because
Safari's
she's pop,
already
or
I think Safari already came out and
There's
talked
there's
about it.
certain
So
there's certain
people
people. There's certain nobody's gonna care if Nicki Minaj don't write her around, bro. No,
okay, but it's certain,
nobody's gonna care.
there is certain people though. Okay, just not Nicki's, just
Yeah,
not
there's
one of
certain
them.
people, but
Okay,
not now. If you like, there's a echelon of people like
J. Cole,
Nas, yeah, J. Cole,
Kendrick.
Wayne, you got
Kendrick.
to think Wayne survived Gilly pretty much putting out that he wrote Carter 1 and Summer Carter 2. Wayne, he actually like went to a higher level after that.
Because that's a whole nother thing, because there's also certain people, like if you like to a certain level, you get away with a lot more shit. Like if motherfucker, yeah, I mean it just is what it is. Like if motherfuckers, it's the public fucking loves you, they love you, like, and they'll let
Yeah,
you
they're
get
not
away with a
gonna.
lot of
Yeah,
shit.
they're not gonna care about that. There's certain ones that really do hit different. Where I would be like, yeah, I wouldn't even believe it. I would just be like, yeah, a hook, a bridge, sure, but you didn't write that whole thing. You know what I mean? But
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, there's certain caliber. But I just don't. I don't. And I'll be honest with you, Nelly is not that caliber.
Exactly.
You telling me that somebody else wrote Nelly stuff is not making me be like, oh, that's
Yeah.
like, and I mean, I don't know, man. I look at Nelly's music as just a party